Well, this thing says I'm live. Maybe I am. Maybe I ain't. Just depends. I don't know. I'm just here. Wait to see if anybody shows up. I didn't get to be here last week. I wound up sleeping. Our sleep has been messed up lately. We sleep a good amount. It's just some things have made it out of kilter. Well, hello, Susie. Shows I got four watching. I'll see who the other three are eventually. If not, y'all just sit back and lurk and try not to get your ears hurt too bad listening to me ramble on. Troy Sutton. Well, that's all right, Troy. There's this thing that's called life. It gets busy. So you fit in what you can fit in when you can fit it in. Simple as that. No harm, no foul, no need to be upset about it. It happens. Like I say, something happens, you look at it and say, well, that happened. Now let's see what we got to do to fix it. Katie Spirit, howdy, howdy. We've been taking this stuff right here last few days. It's been helping to clear our heads out. Called NAC. I'm not sure what all's in that, but it's been clearing out sinuses and bringing stuff up from our chest. It's been getting stuff out from around my ears. They don't feel as stuffed as they normally do. Blow back to pop my ears and they actually pop. Of course, it sounds like it goes crinkle, crinkle when I do it. That's just fluids being built up back in there. Hoping this stuff will eventually clear all that out. Maybe I'll hear better. Yeah. It's like anything else. You got good days, you got bad days. It's not that I ever really feel bad. I just don't feel good. But I muddle through anyway. Last week our sleep schedule was just off and I wound up sleeping past my time. She's in there asleep right now. Katie, I had to look at your hello twice. I see that it shows an O, but at first I thought it was showing an A behind on that last letter there. It kind of changes the perception of the word. That was on me. So what's everybody been up to besides seeing all the junk going on in the world? And yeah, I'm probably going to talk about some of it. Y'all know me. I ain't got nothing else to show or say or talk about. So I'll talk about that. A lot of people don't like it. And some people don't like it because of my stance on it. But I'm going to stand on the side of truth with it. That's the main thing some people don't like about me talking about it. So I'm gonna put the truth of it out there. Time for a sip of coffee. Oh, oh, I bet that was a lot of fun, Susie. Trying to do one while suffering the other. I've been losing a little bit of weight. I'm down to about 185. Might be closer to 180. I hadn't been there in a long time. Maybe one day I'll lose another 40 pounds and I'll be feeling a lot better weight wise. Might take me another 10 years eating the way we eat. We don't eat a lot at a time. I ate me up 3 biscuits to have and ate a banana. Might be several hours before I eat anything else. Oh, this weather, the way it's been, up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't want to talk too loud. They're in there trying to sleep. So I apologize if y'all have a hard time hearing me. I don't watch football, so I didn't watch that halftime show. But I did watch the TPUSA halftime show. That was good. They've been showing what the lyrics were to that thing's performance at the NFL halftime show. Looks like the SEC is going to be doing something about that. They literally tried to sneak a triple X rated show in by it being in another language. Totally disrespecting America and what America's about. All right, Fancy, you got to go, girlfriend. Understand that, Susie. Elaine's the same way. She'll try to eat, but she won't be able to eat so much. And there's stuff we're taking that's supposed to curb your appetite a little bit as well. So I'll do that, Katie. If she gets up between now time I get off of here, you can tell her hi. But I'll tell her. Now, she just wasn't feeling it last week. She wasn't feeling it last night. If she don't get with it, she be just as well to say goodbye to the channel because she'll go down quick doing like that. Time for another sip of coffee. Or as my calm chief used to say, time for a cup of coffee. Oh, I might see a light on back there. So would I, Susie. She is a great cook. She made a little thing last night that she'd been seeing on TikToks or something. Wasn't bad. That's all right, Katie. We all slip up. If I got mad at every person that got this or that wrong, I'd be spending all my time being mad. And I don't like doing that. So have a little understanding. People ain't perfect. We mess up. I'm as bad, if not worse, than all of you on that. And I might be a halfway intelligent person, maybe. A kitty running around, jumping up and down on stuff. So let's see. We got the car took care of the other week. It wasn't a thermostat on it. It's a water release valve type thing on the side of the engine. I thought it was the thermostat. It got replaced before. We were talking about it before. It called thermostat, but it wasn't the thermostat. It was a little cheaper to get fixed than what the thermostat would have been. So that was a good thing. She's trying a thing called Misfits Market. Got some good stuff out of it. You order stuff and it gets sent to you pretty much the next day. You got to order it at a certain time for it to be done that way, though. But we got some stuff out of that. Had me some snickerdoodle cookies out of it. They were good. Got her some cheese curls type things out of it. They're good. Got some Pop Tart like things out of it. They're whole grain or wheat or something because they will fill you up. She'll eat one of them out of the pack. I'll eat the other one. It might be a few hours before we're ready for something else. She said it was weird. I told her, I said, it's got to be high octane. Cool. Arlene, how you doing? How you doing? I've switched back out to this recliner. Took it off, put it back in there, brought this in here. I put my cushion down in here that she'd got me that I'm sitting on. Seems to be working out pretty good. When I want to put my feet up, I just lean back. Sit here, watch some shows. Day by day, Arlene. Day by day. I waited a while ago. I got up and had a sup of water and a sup of coffee and a little nibble of something, bite of something, and had to go do my morning light thing. I got on the scale, clothes on, phone in my hand, and said 187 point something. So I'm easily 185, if not lower. Let's see what else. Those glasses she got for us to drive with. I lost mine, so I'm having to use hers until she can get us some more. But boy, those things make a difference. People come at you with their brights on, and it barely even faces me. Makes everything clear up. I see those other types of glasses advertised all the time, Clarity Blue or something like that. I would love to try those. I just don't know if they'd be strong enough for my eyeballs. Because on the one hand, they say they go from 100 to 700 diopters, which wouldn't be enough. But on another part of it, they say they go from minus 10 to plus 10 diopters, which would be enough. Because I'm at like 8.5 on that. So I don't know if they'd work for me or not, but I'd like to try them. Let's see. Then we went to some stores and did regular shopping. Got that out the way. I don't know, Katie. All I know is when I see a mod and mods are in blue, like Susie right there. So I don't know. I'd have to ask her about that. I don't see that over here. I'd have to wait for her to do it live and see what it shows on hers. Huh. I don't know why that is. Of course, YouTube's all messed up. I'll go through looking for those that I watch, and both homesteaders and whatnot, and my political stuff. And every time I refresh, it'll show me one of those that sometimes maybe two of those that I watch. And it has a whole bunch of other creators on there. I'm like, I don't want to see none of them. I want to see those I watch. And here lately, it's been showing me uh, content from those I do watch. A month ago, 3 months ago, year ago, 3 years ago. It's like, all right, where's the current stuff at? Oh, okay. Thank you, Troy. I guess a shield would be more appropriate because your mods are a shield between us and bots and Kiwi Lover. Been a while since I seen you. How you been? get a sip of coffee and we'll get into it. Yeah, y'all know what I mean by that. What I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go. Doing best we can, Kiwi. Day by day. Well, here we go. Got that Nancy Guthrie thing out there. Sheriff hiding DNA evidence. I think a lot of it is a distraction because the news has been hammering that out a lot, taking attention away to the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act got passed. Backtrack. Tim's all up in arms about that, trying to make false claims that, oh, now women aren't going to be able to vote because they got married. No, that ain't how it works. Well, Chucky boy trying to say it's Jim Crow 2.0. They're going to keep brown people from being able to vote. No, that ain't true either. It's going to make it to where illegals cannot vote, which is how it should be. Because the illegals is who the Democrats are relying on to be able to get in and stay in power. Ain't it no backtrack? So then you consider who she's the mother of on one of those leftist shows. You know, I think by the time it's all said and done, there's going to be a lot found out about that. Mama Bear, how you doing, girl? Yeah, they're going to find out a lot about that. The NFL and Apple are going to be facing a lot of smoke because and fire. No, hon, she didn't. She just ain't been feeling it because of what they did with that Bad Bunny thing. They're likely going to suffer some great losses like Budweiser did. I won't never go back to Bud. Yeah, they've been trying to make some strong ads here lately that appeal to the conservative side, but you know, they dared to go there. I won't go back to it. Not because they support that. Every company is going to put money into different things like that. And as long as they keep that on their private doings, I don't care. That's just good business. But when you do what Bud did and try to shove it down our throats, well, that's when you cross the line. And that's what NFL did and Apple did with the Bad Bunny thing. They took something that was totally un-American, totally disrespected America, Americans, and our way of life, and shoved it down people's throats. People paying $10,000 a seat there to go be there, only to be dissed like that. Well, good. You got you some good rest. Hope it was good rest. You still keeping up with your exercising that you was doing? I know it might be a pain, but that will ultimately help you. Coffee time. Fuzzy Adventures. How you doing? Welcome in. Well, you get back to doing that, Mama Bear. It will help. Yeah, I hadn't watched. Well, I don't ever watch football. I'm not a sports fan. Bunch of overpaid babies. Just like Hollywood, they reach celebrity status and they think they're gods among us. Most of them, anyway. And the money they make from that, they're able to get into other business and make good, but that's only because they had some money to make some money off their athleticism, if you can call it that. And then when you realize everything's already decided in Vegas anyway, it don't matter. And those things become just entertainment for the peasants. Keep them sidetracked and sidelined and distracted from what's really going on. I saw it in Little League when I was a kid too. He was already playing who was going to win what. Right, backtrack. I remember when football players, they'd take a beating and get right back up and say, all right, let's go. Once upon a time, I liked the Cincinnati Bengals and the Steelers. Of course, this was back 70s and 80s when there was some real men out there bashing together playing the game. No idea what Zone 71 is. I couldn't skate now if I wanted to. I'd lose my balance and probably hit even in the slightest bad way, and that'd be the end of me. My neck would be gone. Anyway, that Guthrie thing, that's something else, but it's also being made a distraction from stuff on the hill. Hoping it would distract from that SAVE Act thing, which got passed. Now the Democrats are going to have to filibuster standing something to all that. They ain't going to be able to make it. Well, Bum out there trying to say it's the Republicans now trying to rig the elections. No, it ain't about rigging them. It's about making them actually fair. Democrats, like any other criminal, they think that if they do it, it's okay. But somebody trying to make it right, that's not okay. You got that right, Mama Bear. Too much going on. but it's necessary. Of course, the numbers came back. They're really good on the inflation thing and all like that. It's so good, even CNN's having to admit it. I don't know if they've even started it, Mama Bear, because the SAVE Act did pass. So if they try and do it, they ain't going to be able to do it. Like Benny's and others pointing out, so many on the Dem side are so old, they ain't going to be able to stand up there and do a filibuster for very long if they do it all. So I don't know on any of that yet. Shoot, backtrack. If I disappeared, there wouldn't be but a few notice. Elaine and those immediately around me would notice. They'd tell y'all about it. That'd be about it. So all total, I doubt there'd be 50 people miss me. And it wouldn't even make any news. So what makes Savannah's mama any more special than anybody else? You know, there's likely hundreds or more that wind up in that situation. You don't hear about them. So what makes Savannah's mama any more special? Because she is a leftist talking head. And it's good for a distraction, get everybody's focus on that and not on other things that need to be focused on. Josie! So, and then they got that sheriff up there had hidden DNA evidence. Some showing it may have been a woman that was doing that ring camera and not a man. I don't know. And you know what? I really don't care. I hope the woman herself gets justice for whatever may have happened to her. But beyond that, sorry, not sorry. I don't really care. Even the political stuff, I really don't care. They're going to do what they want to do. Trump's trying to get it straightened out. The Dems have been running roughshod for the last 50 years. And they don't like it because they're a communist and they've been trying to turn America into a communist nation. Doing all the tricks that communists have done over decades, centuries. You know, they do like the Pied Piper. They bring in Muslims, do a lot of destruction. And then when they finally subdue a nation in a roundabout way like that, they get rid of Muslims, put them back in their little pen, and turn everybody into slaves. The Democrats want it really bad because a lot of them think they're going to be on the top tier when it's all said and done if they succeed. But they haven't paid attention to their history. Those in a nation that help a communist nation take over that nation are some of the first to be disposed of. But like all people who get arrogant and narcissistic with all that money and power, they think because they're helping it to happen, they'll be on the top tier. Uh, nope, they'll be on the chopping block, literally. That's kind of what it is, Mama Bear. Because in the end, China's behind all that. Soros has got deep pockets, but he ain't got that deep of pockets. All the money he's spending on funding all these organizations that are designed to be violent while being called mostly peaceful. I'm sorry, you lift your hand in a violent gesture, it's no longer a peaceful protest, much less what they've been doing. Peaceful protest, you stay out of the roads and you stay on the sidewalks and you hold your signs and you do your chants. Make it known you're out there. Once you start throwing bricks and Molotov cocktails and trying to block cops, trying to fight cops, you know, there's one on my Facebook saying that the Pretty thing was ruled a homicide. Well, I hadn't heard anything on that. But I'm sorry, if it was a homicide, it was a death by cop thing. That dude had already had one or two other physical confrontations with ICE and other authorities. You kick a tail light out of the back end of an SUV. That's not easy to do. Well, that's not peaceful. That's violent. He was a nurse. Well, he might have been a nurse at one time, but 2 years before all this, he quit being a nurse to go be a paid protester. They get paid. I saw another thing where it's showing that a lot of them folks out there getting paid $80,000 to $120,000 a year to be out there doing what they do. Well, I've shook some loose. I'm down to 3. You know what? That's all right. Folks don't like my views. Oh well. Sorry, not sorry. Truth is truth. So, anywho, that's how they do it. Okay, the thing about it is the evil thinks it's the good, that they're in the right, that they are justified. To them, that is the right way to be and do. And I've said it many times, people don't realize that we are in a war. Not a conventional type war either. But it's going to take Trump doing some things like he did with Maduro to combat our enemies. Strong language just ain't going to be enough. There's going to have to be actions to back up those words. They had a cartel drone fly over a base in El Paso. They got airspace around that area closed down for 10 days. Well, cartels may think they can do something like that and get away with it. No, that's going to merit a response. And the cartels aren't going to like it when they get responded to. Me too, Mama Bear. I saw you post that. Now that the SAVE Act's been passed, I hope that gets even bigger. Because that SAVE Act, the photo ID, is all about keeping illegals from being able to vote, keeping the Democrats from being able to cheat. You gonna be all right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, you should have got my walker out.
I almost fell, so I hadn't hung on to the wall. I couldn't use the walker.
Want me to go get it for you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, she made it in here. Barely. Katie said, tell you hi. Well, really, I thought it was the Senate that voted on it. But either way, they've got the votes to do it. They just have to do it. Coffee time. Okay. As I understood, I saw J.D. Vance being the deciding vote
That makes sense.
on it, so I thought it was done through the Senate.
Yeah, if he's the deciding vote, it's the Senate.
Yeah,
So he's the leader of the Senate.
yeah. Yeah, I saw JD being the deciding vote on that. That's why I was thinking it was done through the Senate. I think that John Thune is going to need to be reconsidered for his position. Because he'd been trying to stall. To me, that reeks of rhino. His position needs to be reconsidered. Those he represents need to rethink having him up there. And I hate it when all these folks call them our leaders. They're not our leaders. They are our representatives. Being called leaders, that that indicates, oh, we follow what they say we do. No, they are to put through what we say they are to put through. Not what they decide, what we decide. But people like to call them our leaders. And and those people have taken that to heart. Like, oh, okay, I'm the leader, so I say what's what. No, you're up there to represent the people that sent you there. So you represent those who sent you there, and you fulfill what those who sent you there to do. You're not there to lead, you're there to represent. Personally, I think you ought to go back to the days of when people could run up in there, drag them out their office, tar and feather them, and put somebody else in up there. So that when representatives go up there, they know that if they don't do what the people want, they're going to get tarred and feathered. So, and a lot of people might disagree, but that's part of being a civilized society. You take out the trash. You send them up there and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You take them out, punish them, and put somebody else in there. Locally for our district, we've got a ton of people trying to run for Marjorie Taylor Greene's spot. I've got one I've decided on. But apparently there's another one that's supposedly been endorsed by Trump. I don't like him. He's sending flyers, magazine flyers, and all sorts of stuff like that out in the mail every other day. Where's he getting the money for that? What kind of money has he got at his disposal? And yeah, he's a vet, former fighter pilot. Hats off to you, kudos to him. But he's also been a DA, and I thought I'd read something on where he was part of all that going on up there. I mean, he may not have been doing anything bad, but he was a part of all that going on the last few years up there on the hill. We don't need that. We need somebody fresh. We need somebody who's not a career politician. And the one I've chosen is also a vet. Got some pretty impressive credentials under her belt. I'd like to see what she could do. There's some that seems like she needs to back off so that this other guy can get it. So we don't wind up with a Democrat. Well, I'm thinking, why don't he back off? Let someone who's not a career politician get in there. Of course, everybody around him says, oh, he's all this, he's all that. Well, that might be to y'all. How is he to everybody else? There's just something about it I don't like. And I done went with one because Trump endorsed him. That was MTG. She did good for a while, then she turned around and flipped the script and became a total disappointment. Made comment on that girl's post, one of that girl's posts, that some guy tried to come at me after about 3 responses. He'd done had all he wanted of me. He thought he was making an idiot out of me. He found out he was the idiot. But it's slow. I was up to 6. I lost half of that, so I just got 3 y'all still hanging out. I started talking political stuff. They couldn't hang. And that's all right. Whether it's because you just don't like that sort of thing or you hate what I have to say about it, don't matter to me. I am who I am. I know I ain't getting pushed out there. I know I ain't got a big following. And that don't bother me none. You know, people don't like truth. Well, they can just kiss. They can just kiss it. But I think I'm gonna get off of here and see what little I can get into. Y'all think about it. Piggy loves you.